Good afternoon. I'm Peter Alexander in today for Chris Chansing. And as we come on the air right now, we are following that breaking news out of Memphis. All 5 police officers involved in the fatal confrontation case of 29-year-old Tyre Nichols are behind bars right now. In just a few hours, we were expecting a live update from the Shelby County DA. Former federal prosecutor Paul Butler is joining us right now as well. We have a reporter on the ground, Antonia Hilton, who is there. We're going to get to her in a moment, too. Paul, I want to walk folks through what happened here. We know about the death of Tyre Nichols. He was attacked, in the words of his family's attorney, like a human piñata by these officers. The family has seen video of what happened. This happened earlier in the month on January 7th. He ended up dying 3 days later. The police chief in Memphis there has called the actions of the 5 officers, all of whom happen to be black, saying that it was heinous, reckless, and inhumane, and making a plea to the residents of that city to protest peacefully when video of the arrest is released to the public, which is expected to happen today. Again, of course, the breaking news is that these 5 individuals who were fired a matter of days ago have now all been taken into custody. Your takeaways about the situation here and the way this investigation is progressing?
So the officers were fired almost immediately for using excessive force and also for violating their responsibilities to intervene. When one officer is doing something that's illegal or criminal, other officers are required to stop that person as they would any other criminal. The police department alleges that in this instance, those officers violated that duty. They also had a duty to render aid to Mr. Nichols, which they also violated. So it's not surprising, given the quickness with which the department was responsible for firing these guys, that now we're seeing criminal charges. In addition, an autopsy commissioned by the family says that Mr. Nichols died of extensive bleeding caused by a severe beating. He died, he bled out, basically, based on what the police did. In these cases, often there's a debate about whether what the officers did was the actual cause of the death. So if there's a trial, I expect that to be an issue. But again, criminal charges aren't that surprising, given what we think the video shows. Soon we'll all see it, and also given how quickly they were discharged by the police department.
And again, real concerns, Paul, in that community as they anticipate the release of that video. Ben Crump, the attorney who represents the Nichols family and was among those family members who were able to see the video, says that the video shows that Tyre Nichols, a 29-year-old FedEx worker and a father, was shocked, pepper sprayed, and restrained when he was pulled over for a traffic stop near his home on January 7th. We're also joined now by Antonia Hilton. She is on the ground for us there in Tennessee, and we were anticipating this to be a tense day in that community, Antonia. Obviously, developments are occurring rapidly right now with expectation. We're going to hear from the DA in the not too distant future. Can you take us there and tell us what more you're learning?
Hey, Peter, you know, it's not just a tense day. It's been a tense several days here as I've been on the ground and talking to residents. I've even spoken to members of the police department here, and there's immense hurt. There's also some gratitude that it appears that action has been taken swiftly. People have been talking about the potential for criminal charges for a while, and so this community is going to hear this news, that NBC News and others have confirmed that these 5 officers are in custody and are facing criminal charges now. And we also understand that while we're going to hear more about this at a 2 p.m. local time, 3 p.m. Eastern time presser shortly, that the video we're likely going to get tomorrow. And people here are grateful for this in some ways. While this is incredibly painful, it touches on all of the stories that you and I have covered many times of the lack of trust between communities, particularly black communities and police. There's a recognition here that the police department acted very quickly in not just putting them on administrative leave, not just saying for a while that they were going to investigate, but very quickly firing these officers. Also, 2 members of the fire department being put immediately on leave, they relieved of their duties and under investigation as well. There's a recognition that there are local, state, and federal agencies here who are promising this community that they're going to give them eventually a full report, a full accounting soon of what happened here. And so some of the tenseness, some of the anger is tempered by what they feel is a respect that they're receiving from authorities in this case, which Black community members that I've spoken to say that in some ways it's a surprise to them. They come to these stories time and time again, expecting to be stonewalled, expecting to get very little information, expecting to have to beg. And at this time, at least, there is the silver lining that they feel like, particularly there's been talk about, the new police chief who's been in her job for a relatively short amount of time, just how quickly and effectively she has communicated to the community. There is appreciation for that. But people are bracing for the reality that this video is expected to be horrific, not just for people locally to process, but likely for this entire country, Peter.